Hello, loves. Welcome into today's reading. I am so grateful and honored to be here with you today, love. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining me. All right, love. So for today's readings, we are doing something a little bit different. We're not doing a pick a card reading this time. Instead, I felt guided to create messages of guidance answering the question, what do you need to know at this time based on your zodiac signs element? So we are going to do readings for the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So that will be one reading for the fire signs. And then we'll do one for the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. One reading for the earth signs. And then the air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And then we will close out with the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So I will leave timestamps in the description box down below for you to click on, and it will take you directly to the beginning of your reading based on which element your zodiac sign falls under. So for these readings, I am setting the intention that you can listen to the element that is associated with your sun sign. However, if you also feel called to, you want to go a little bit deeper, you can listen to your moon and rising signs elements as well. And then if you want some guidance on love, I always recommend listening to your Venus signs element, okay? And if you don't know what any of that is, that's okay. You can ask me about it in the comments below and I'll explain a little bit more. But if not, just stick with your zodiac sign, the one that you know, which is likely your sun sign. All right, love, so let's go ahead and get into our readings today. So we are going to start off with the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So I'm going to set that aside, and we are, of course, going to start with the tarot deck. We're using the Tarot of the Divine today. So if you are a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, welcome into your reading. We are tapping in today to see, what do you need to know? What do you need to know at this time? So while I'm shuffling and drawing your cards, if there is a situation in your life that you would like to ask about or set intentions around receiving guidance, go ahead and take a moment now to ask those questions, set those intentions, and trust that you will receive the answers exactly when you are meant to. All right, so I'm going to pull your oracle cards as well, just to give you a bit of time to set those intentions and ask those questions. And we are pulling oracle cards from the Beyond Lemuria oracle card deck. And this is a deck that I don't normally use, but it was just calling to me today. It wanted to come out. So let's go ahead and get into your reading, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. All right, we are starting off with 20 Judgment. We also have the 7 of Coins. And we have the 8 of Cups. All right, so let's see what's going on here, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. All right, so it seems as though you are coming to the end of a journey. Something is coming to a close. And for some of you, this may be a graduation. I'm seeing that you may have some tests that you are about to take. So maybe I'm seeing different examples here. So maybe you have some final exams that you're trying to take, or you've been doing certification courses and now you have to take the test. And so you could be feeling a bit of anxiety or nervousness around having to take the test. But Spirit's coming in and they're saying, if you know the material, you've got this, you will be okay. Okay, and then on the other side of this, what I'm seeing too is that as you approach the ending of this cycle, whether it's through a means of certification or graduation, you're starting to reflect on what's next for you. You know that you have a choice to make. And for some of you, you may actually be battling with the inner knowing that what you have just completed may not actually be something that you want to continue pursuing, okay? And so there may need to be some deeper reflection around needing to make a choice for yourself and where you're at now based on the information that you have now. So some of you may be struggling to decide to move forward with a decision that you know you need to make for yourself because of how much time, money, energy, efforts you've put into something previously to get to the point that you're at now. Okay, so going back to the example of school, certification courses, maybe you put a lot of time, money, energy, effort into going to school to become certified in something specific, and now you're completing that certification, you have the degree, you have the certificate, you have the credentials, but you've realized that through that time that you spent developing your knowledge and skills in that specific subject matter or skill set, you've now come to the conclusion that it may not actually be something you want to continue moving forward with. And so there's a decision that you need to make around letting that go. Okay, and being okay with that, being at peace with that decision, and knowing that you did the best that you could with what you had at the time that you had when you made those decisions to sign up for those courses and to become certified in those skill sets and those credentials and that knowledge and wisdom. It doesn't mean that everything is thrown out the window. You still learned new skills, you learn new knowledge about something that at one time was very important to you. And it doesn't mean that you're going to throw it all out the window as a whole anyways, because what I'm seeing here too is even if you make a decision to pursue a new path that is not in alignment with what you are completing with your schooling with this previous cycle, oh, the message slipped. Oh, it doesn't mean that it's not going to come back around later in the future for you to be able to use and apply to maybe a different scenario, a different career path in a very unique way. Okay, so it's not all for nothing. It just may be that you're recognizing that the reasoning as to why you initiated yourself into taking these courses or to being involved in these connections, it's just no longer going to support you moving forward based on where you're at right now. Okay, it's not something that you want to like base your next decision upon. You're recognizing that, you know, yeah, you did that, you got that certification, it was great, you thought it would serve a specific purpose in your life, but now things have changed and you're pivoting a bit. You're deciding to make a decision based on something else, something that's not connected to this previous cycle that is now coming to a close. Okay, and Spirit's coming in, they're saying that's just an example. Okay, the school, the certification, that's just an example. This could also be about a relationship. Maybe you've been involved in a relationship for an extended amount of time and you're deciding that you no longer want to be connected with this relationship, with this individual, or maybe with a community, maybe with a job. You're deciding that it's time to up and leave those connections and to pursue new paths of interest, or to just detach yourself from those connections that are no longer resonating with you in the ways that they once did. And remember that you have a choice to walk away from these situations, experiences, and connections based on the knowledge and wisdom, insight, what your intuition is speaking to you, what your emotional needs are with where you're at right now, and not where you once were when you first initiated those experiences, relationships, and choices into your life. You can change your mind. All right, loves, let's see what your next cards are here. So we have 53, transformation. Yes, you're going through a transformation here, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Oh, soul and spirit, one and the same there. And we have 16, loving compassion. All right, your cards have a lot of blues and purple and pink hues. So we are working with the upper chakras. All right, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, and the crown chakra. All right, so what I'm getting around that is you may be spending a lot of time in your mind when it comes to this situation. You are trying to maybe weigh the pros and the cons and compartmentalize as to why you have to do this because of what you previously had decided for yourself, even though on an internal level, an intuitive level, you're feeling something completely different with where you're at now based on these choices. I'm seeing that you are trying to make a decision for yourself with the insight, wisdom, and acceptance of who you were before who you are now. So it's like you maybe I'm going to give you an example of this. Okay, so maybe when you were 18, you made a decision to do something, to pursue something, or to be with somebody. But now you're in your 30s and you're trying to compartmentalize the attachments that you have to the choice that you made when you were 18. But just saying that statement and looking back, you can tell yourself like, wow, I was 18 when I made this decision, and I'm still making the decision to stay connected to that experience, that relationship, that situation based on a choice I made when you were 18. What if you were doing that from when you were 7 years old and you didn't have the wisdom, the insight, the experience that you have now in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, however old you are? It's like there's this like time gap, and you're still trying to compartmentalize and accept the choices that you made as your younger self. But now you're in a completely new space, completely new way of being, of seeing things, of knowing things. And Spirit's coming in and they're saying it's okay to make a change and to make a new choice for yourself with the information that you have now and as you are now, who you are now. You don't have to continue to commit to choices and decisions that your younger self made or that your previous self made if it's no longer resonating with who you are now and where you're at now. It's okay to change. It's okay to invite in this energy of transformation that is calling to you, that is asking you to just possibly entertain the idea of what could come of you making a choice for yourself to pursue something that just kind of keeps knocking at your door, that keeps calling you towards it, even though it's different from, what you've been pursuing over the past couple of months to couple of years to maybe even decades for some of you, okay? So there is this need to also invite in this energy of love, compassion, kindness, and patience while you shift into making these new decisions and choices for yourself, because it is something different, all right? It's something that is sort of forcing you to step outside your perspective of a comfort zone. So like you've had this specific perspective around how your path was going to play out, but now things have been shaken up and things are playing out in a different light than you had envisioned them to initially. And that is why you're being guided to make these new decisions and choices for yourself and the path that you want to pursue moving forward. And so it's very important that you allow yourself to give yourself love, compassion, kindness, and patience as you maneuver out of that perspective of comfortability into new territory of where you're being guided to go, where you're being guided to move towards. Okay. All right, love. So let's go ahead and pull your last card here, my fire signs. We are going to pull one last card from the self-awareness deck. And these cards just have questions on it that I highly encourage you to at least reflect on. But I, of course, encourage you to journal out your answers to these questions because it will allow you to access deeper connections about what your own intuition and subconscious is trying to speak to you through this. All right, so your card is, does your life have room for more pleasure and play? Does your life have room for more pleasure and play? In what area are you lacking pleasure right now? Maybe in certain relationships or with work. Is it possible to shift the seriousness of life to experiencing a more creative, wild, and playful side of you? your soul action today. What would happen if you added more play and laughter into your life? What area is lacking this right now? Take time to play. Let go of any need to produce anything. All right, loves. So you are being invited to entertain new paths of pursuit that will allow you to feel a deeper sense of joy, playfulness, freedom, creativity. Where in your life are those past decisions that you're still holding on to, keeping you locked in spaces of too much seriousness, just too much routine? It's not allowing for a sense of fun. It's not allowing for a sense of things to kind of take their own path. It's just like you're constantly following the day-to-day routines that you've built around these expectations of the decisions that you've made in the past. And now you're recognizing that it's not allowing for this energy of like room for fun, for play, for creativity, for things to come in and flow in the ways that they need to flow. It's just very structured. It's very rigid. And so through just reflecting on this question here, where in your life can you create room for more pleasure and play? And then working through these questions on the backside as well will help you to deepen into the energy of pleasure and play and fun in your sense of creativity, which will help you to come into actualizing the decisions that you need to make based on where you're at now, and not just latching on to past decisions that your younger self or previous self made for you. You don't have to remain connected in rooms, relationships, patterns, choices that no longer support you, even if they once did. If they're not still supporting you, it's okay to let them go and to choose something new that does feel more loving, kind, compassionate, and playful and fun. All right, my fire signs. So that is it for your reading today. And I just noticed the 7 of Coins has that fire there, just a confirmation that this is your reading, fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So I thank you so much for allowing me to bring forth these messages of guidance for you. I hope they provided you with clarity and insight and connection based on the current situation or experience that you're working through right now. If you enjoyed this reading, my love, please give this video a thumbs up and comment down below letting me know that you're a fire sign, letting me know that you tuned in to this reading, and let me know what it is that you're letting go of. And if you would like to receive a deeper support as you work through this experience, I do offer one-to-one personal readings. You just have to send me a DM on Instagram at selfunity, and we can set up a private reading for you. All right, my loves, I thank you so much once again. I'm wishing you a beautiful, blessed day. Until next time. Bye, love. Hello, Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Welcome into your reading, love. So for your reading today, we are using the Tarot of the Divine. And we are tapping into see, what do you need to know right now? What is it that Spirit wants to share with you today? So my love, while I am shuffling the deck and drawing out your cards, if you have any questions or intentions that you would like to set to receive guidance upon for this reading, go ahead and take a moment now to set those intentions and ask those questions, and trust that you will receive the guidance and insight exactly when you are meant to. All right, love, so I'm also going to pull your oracle cards from the Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck. And this is a deck that I don't normally use in my readings, but it just really wanted to come out today. So let's get into it, Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Let's see what's going on here. All right, so we have the Page of Coins. Page of Coins. Okay, and the Ace of Coins. Lots of coins energy, pentacles here. And Two of Coins. Wow. All right, money is on the brain. finances, on the mind, on the heart. All right, so there is a new beginning that is available to you when it comes to your means of physical stability. For most of you, this is going to be connected to career. Okay, so maybe you're starting a new job, maybe you have multiple job opportunities and you're really just trying to decide which one you want to pursue, which one you want to commit to. With that, Spirit's coming in and they're saying if you are trying to decide between two possible career paths, maybe you have multiple opportunities that are being offered to you, this is your sign to just slow down and tune in. Spirit's coming in and they're saying don't make this decision just based on the dollar amount of what it is that you're going to receive in your week-to-week paychecks, okay? Make sure that you are making this decision based on all factors of this job and what it will provide for you in the long run, okay? Because it's not just about the money. Yes, it is about the money. That's why we work, okay? But you want to make sure that the environment you're working in is one that you can feel safe and comfortable in. You want to make sure that the people that you're working with are people that you get along with, people that you enjoy being around in the day-to-day, people that you enjoy communicating with. They're able to communicate with you directly and quickly, or maybe you want a slower means of communication. They're not micromanaging you, okay? So if you have multiple job opportunities, try to seek out fulfillment of the answers that you need from these different positions, different companies, different connections if you have unanswered questions, okay? So maybe ask them if you can go in and sort of shadow the environment for a couple hours just to get a feel for the different personality types of who you're going to be working with, so you can get a feel for how you feel being in that environment, in that office, or wherever it is that you're going to be working, okay? Okay, so with that being said, let's circle back around. We went on a tangent there, but it was just coming in. So just reflect, create your pros and cons list, but ultimately Spirit's saying don't just make this decision based on the coin. Don't just make this decision based on the dollar amount, okay? Make sure that all other factors are also meeting your needs, because in the long run that's going to be what is most important for you. If you're just working because of the dollar amount, eventually you're going to reach a space of burnout because you won't be supported physically in the other aspects of that job as well, okay? All right, so earth signs, I'm feeling like an inheritance may be coming in for somebody. Maybe you've been dealing with a situation where you've been waiting on a payment to go through that hasn't been pushed through yet, and it's going to be coming through for you in the next 1 to 2 weeks. For some of you, it could be extended out to 2 months, but it's coming in a lot quicker than you think. 1 to 2 weeks. So it's coming in and they're saying stop checking for it. Stop checking every single day if it came through. Trust that you've already filled out all the paperwork that you needed to fill out. You've communicated with the individuals who you need to communicate with to ensure that you get paid the money that you're owed. It's going to come through. Okay, stop checking every single day, because that is just creating a means of delay. All right, this is all about finances and stability. Okay, we were not expecting this here, earth signs, but of course you are an earth signs. Pentacles represent the energy of earth, so we shouldn't be shocked here. You mean business. You mean business this week. All right, so Spirit wants me to talk about the symbolism here. So we have the elk here, white elk. I think that's very rare. So elk may be significant to somebody. This can also represent the energy of luck. You're feeling lucky this week. Go buy a lottery ticket, go buy a scratch off. You're likely to win some money. And look, I know in readings, we can take that with a grain of salt. Only do that if you feel called to do that. I do not usually give readings like that. I don't tell people to go gamble, but the money is in the cards here, okay? You have all pentacles, and these are very positive pentacle cards to have. All right, so the other symbolism we're getting here is the baby bears, the cubs. So bears may also be significant to you. We also have like a field of strawberries here. So strawberries might be coming into bloom this week or within the next month. I think that's a little late in the season, maybe right on time. But strawberries may be significant for somebody. We also have wildflowers here. Go pick some wildflowers, making a bouquet. Maybe somebody is surprising you with flowers, surprising you with a bouquet. Maybe you're surprising somebody with a bouquet. All right, let's go ahead and see where your oracle cards are here. All right, so we have one Earth Star Chakra with initiation. No way, you are the Earth sign and it says Earth right there. Wow, this is your reading confirmation for my Earth signs. All right, and we also have 32 Internal Explorer. Internal Explorer. All right, so for some of my Earth signs tuning in, I feel that one of the options that you are weighing out within your mind, like there's something that you're trying to decide upon, is whether or not you should pursue something on your own when it comes to a job or career. So for some of you, you may be wanting to become an entrepreneur, become a business owner, start a business of your own, or maybe you have a product or something that you create. Maybe you're an artist and you're wanting to start to pursue the path of putting your product out there for sale, maybe taking commissions, turning a hobby into a side hustle. The energy in your reading is showing that it's a very lucrative time for you to pursue that. But again, Spirit's coming in with just a cautionary message to only do this if you are feeling called to do this in a way that is most supportive of you and the direct connection that you have to what it is that you're doing. Okay, so what I mean by that is if you're an artist and you want to start putting your artwork up for sale or taking commissions, make sure that you're doing this in a way that isn't going to result in you feeling burnout over something that brings you a lot of joy. Because right now you pursue this passion, this artistic expression through a lens of joy. You're not doing it because of the attachment of income that's associated with it. It's just something that you do as a hobby to bring you joy, to bring you fulfillment, to pass the time. But the moment you turn this into a means of income, you then have to create a system to ensure that you're meeting your product demand, to ensure that you're meeting the expectations of your clients, of the people that you're working with or selling to. And so you want to make sure that you create a system for this passion of yours that doesn't result in you wanting to disconnect from it because you've turned it into something that's all about the money or all about the production of it and not about you just pursuing it because it's something that you enjoy doing. Okay, so just make sure that you're thinking about that, and if this is something that you do want to pursue and turn into a business or a side hustle, make sure that you're putting yourself and the attachment that you have to this passion or hobby of yours first, so that it's not something that you want to separate from in the long run. You want to hold the love and the care and the passion that you feel around this pursuit at the forefront of what it is that you're bringing or initiating change towards, if it's something you're turning into a business or side hustle. Okay. All right, love. So let's go ahead and pull your last card now. So we're going to pull one last card from the self-awareness card deck here. And these cards have questions on them that I highly encourage you to reflect on, but I also encourage you to journal out your answers to the question that you receive, because it will just deepen your connection of awareness to what this question is trying to invoke from within you. All right, so your card is, are you communicating your needs? Are you communicating your needs? Your needs matter. What are you needing right now that you haven't communicated? What are you afraid of? Is it possible that what you are fearing is not true? Your soul action today. Journal these answers. What are my needs? Am I saying no and yes enough based on my desires? Am I telling my full truth? Do I believe that my needs matter, and do I share them with others? Do I ask for what I want? When communicating my needs, what am I resisting and with whom? What do I need in order to feel safe enough to express my needs? All right, loves, you have so many questions on this card, but I highly, highly, highly encourage you to reflect on your answers to these prompts and really journal them out, just like it says in your soul action today. Journal out your answers to each and every single one of these questions, because this is what the overall message of your reading was about. It's about ensuring that your base needs are being met. It's not all about the money. It's about your means of feeling comfortable and supported in the environments and connections and decisions that you're making for yourself when it comes to your work, when it comes to your career path, when it comes to your professional relationships. Your needs, aside from financial prosperity, deserve to be met first and foremost. The money will always follow as long as you are ensuring that your basic needs of physical support are met first when it comes to your career and work and side hustles, okay? So I highly, highly encourage you to journal out your answers to these questions. It will help provide you with deeper insight around where you may need to speak up or address concerns in relation to where your needs are not being met or have not been met, or in these new experiences and situations and paths that you are thinking about pursuing and starting a new connection with. Okay, make sure that you're addressing what your needs are, what your requirements are before accepting these positions or making these decisions and choices to move forward with a new path. All right, loves. So that is it for your reading today, my earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Thank you so much for tuning in and for allowing me to bring forth these messages of guidance for you. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up and comment down below letting me know that you're my earth sign, letting me know what is your needs, what are your needs. Let yourself affirm them, write them out. Let me know what your needs are, my loves. We want to know so we can offer you the support of what it is that you need in this moment when it comes to you being physically supported in your career, in your job, and in your professional relationships. All right, my loves. So if you would like to go deeper and work with me one-on-one to offer you deeper support on what it is that you're working through right now, I do offer one-to-one personal readings. You just have to send me a DM on Instagram and we can set up a personal reading for you, my loves. All right, I thank you so much once again, my earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. I'm wishing you a beautiful, blessed day. Until next time, bye, love. Hello, air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Welcome into your reading, my love. So for your reading today, we are using the Tarot of the Divine to tap in and see what is it that you need to know in this moment now. What messages of guidance or insight do you need to receive? So while I'm shuffling and pulling out your cards, my love, go ahead and take a moment now to ask any questions or set any intentions that you would like to have answered in this reading today, and trust that you will receive the answer and guidance exactly when you are meant to. All right, love. So we are also going to pull your oracle cards too. So we are using the Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck. And this isn't a deck that I normally use in my readings, but I really wanted to come out for these elemental readings today. So let's see what it wants to share. All right, so let's see what's going on with my air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. We have the Page of Swords. All right, Page of Swords. We also have the Page of Cups. Wow, a page has come out in every single reading, but you have 2, and you also have 15, the Devil. All right. So, my loves, it seems here that there is something that you are struggling with. Okay, the Devil can represent this energy of addiction, of temptation, and staying in spaces and connections that do not serve or support your sense of mental and emotional growth, and sometimes even your physical growth as well. Okay, but we have the Page of Cups, and I love that this rabbit here has like this red string, and it's sort of wrapping around her heel. And so Spirit's coming in and they're like, it's time to cut that cord. There's an emotional attachment that you are holding on to, something that you are afraid to cut the cord from, but it's time to cut it. Okay, Spirit's not giving me much more than that, because they're saying that you already know why you need to cut this cord. All right, I do feel that for some of you, this attachment it's going to be connected to something different for everybody, but what's coming in very strongly is the element of relationships, where, you know, maybe you're wanting to change jobs, but you're having this hesitation to do that because you really enjoy the people that you're working with. Or maybe you're wanting to move out of a home or an apartment that you're living in, but you have these fears of moving out because you don't want to like put all the rent on your roommates or the people that you're living with. Okay, so there's just like these hesitations of almost like an excuse that you're holding on to from being able to shift out of these environments that are no longer allowing you to grow on a mental and emotional level, but you're allowing yourself to remain stuck there because you're too concerned about the other individuals, the other relationships that are involved in you making this choice to initiate change in your life. Okay, but if you stay in these connections and these environment situations that you're in, you're going to just keep repeating the same cycles that you've been going through. You're not going to find the mental and emotional fulfillment that you are seeking, that you are striving to achieve in your life overall. Okay, and there is a new path available to you because you have 2 pages. Pages represent this energy of a new beginning, but it's one that you have to make a decision around, and you have to provide yourself with the emotional capacity to be able to make that decision to move towards something that is more supportive and fulfilling for you. You're the only one that's keeping yourself trapped in the spaces that you're feeling trapped in. It's time for you to just open the cage. There's no lock on the cage. Just open it and step outside of it and step into the new spaces that are going to provide you with a deeper sense of mental and emotional support that you've been craving and seeking for. All right, love. So a little bit about the symbolism that's coming through. White rabbits, Alice in Wonderland's coming to light. So this may be a story that you want to read. I'm specifically getting the book. Reading the book Alice in Wonderland will provide you with some deeper insight and awareness around what it is that you are struggling to detach from, okay, what you're struggling to bring a deeper sense of healing towards. And you can also watch the movie, okay, but Spirit's just heavily recommending the book because I personally haven't read this book, but there's like Spirit's saying that there is likely to be deeper symbolism and significance around the energy of the rabbit. And I know the rabbit in the Alice in Wonderland movies, like he's always got the pocket watch, he's always checking his time, but there's just something around decision making that's coming through that may be connected to the rabbit and the sense of emotional attachment that you're feeling that is preventing you from being able to move out of those spaces that are also feeling like keeping you in the feelings of being trapped. Okay, we also have like all these full moons up here, so following the moon cycle may also help you around this time. Somebody may be starting their cycle soon. That's just a very specific message for someone coming in there. All right, let's see. Okay, oh yeah, the yellow wren. There's like a little yellow bird here, so yellow birds may be significant to somebody tuning in. I'm seeing sparrows and wrens, and then the snake symbolism here on the devil card. And then I'm also just seeing cages, like you're feeling caged in, but again, Spirit's saying you're the one that has the key. You have access to unlock the lock, to open the door, and to step out of this situation and experience. You have all the tools and the skills and the means to move yourself out of this situation, and even if you think you don't, you have access to it. So maybe you need a bit of help from somebody, like emotional support or mental support from somebody. You have the means to reach out to the people that can help gift you with the emotional and mental support that you need to be able to set yourself up for moving out of those situations that are keeping you feeling small, that are keeping you feeling trapped. Okay, so an example, maybe you need mental or emotional help from somebody to break an addiction. Okay, so maybe you need to seek help from a therapist or seek help from a family member or a friend who has gone through something similar, and they can help be like an accountability partner for you while you're working to break the ties to this addiction. All right, or maybe you're wanting to like move out or look for a new job, and so maybe you don't quite know where the new jobs are, so maybe there's somebody in your community that you can reach out to and say, hey, I'm looking for a new job, let me know if you hear anything. Okay, so there are things that you can do to start taking the baby steps to help set you up for success when it comes to getting yourself out of the situations, experiences, and connections that are making you feel trapped. All right, you do have the capacity, the ability, the tools, and the skills to get yourself out of this environment, but just remember that you don't have to do it alone. There are other individuals in your immediate environment and communities that can help provide you with the support that you need to get yourself out of these situations. All right, loves, let's go ahead and see what your cards are. No way, this just came out in the Earth signs reading and in the same position. And I put my cards back in the middle of the deck. I never like put them on top or anything. So cool. So you have 1 Earth Star chakra with initiation. All right, so if you have Earth signs in your sun, moon, rising, maybe your Venus, you might want to check out the Earth signs reading as well. Oh my gosh, 16 loving compassion. And this one came out in the fire signs reading. We have some repeats here. This is like a 52 card deck. Wow. Okay, 16 loving compassion. And you have Earth Star chakra with initiation. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. You are getting divine insight and guidance that something has ran its course for you. But once again, I'm just getting this energy that you are holding on to these spaces because there is a fear, there's a hesitation around how it's going to affect the other individuals from you, like when you make this change, when you make this choice for yourself. And so Spirit's coming in and they're saying like, yes, it's not about the other individual. This is about you making this choice, this decision for yourself, because the space that you're operating out of right now, it is not supportive to you. It's no longer supporting you. It's no longer bringing you a means of mental and emotional fulfillment. It's hindering you. It's keeping you small. It's keeping you stuck. And so if you're in that energy, existing in the same environment as somebody else, they are also going to be in that energy in some way. They're at least going to be affected by you keeping yourself in that energy, and not in a positive light. It's going to trickle out and affect them in the same energy lines that it's affecting you. So, you may be in a specific space of feeling stuck, feeling small, feeling uncomfortable in the environments that you're in, but you're allowing the attachment of the relationships to prevent you from making the changes that you need to make to get out of that situation. And that energy is trickling out, and it's affecting them all the same. They may not be as conscious of it as you are, but it's still there. It's lingering in the same environment, whether this is in a job situation, a friendship connection, a home environment. All right, no matter what it is, a contractual agreement that you have with somebody. All right, that energy is trickling out, and it is like the energy of cause and effect, and they are feeling it all the same. It's like that energy that's saying you cannot fill someone's cup if you're running on empty. And right now you're running on empty, or you're at least running on this energy that's just, you don't feel supportive or supported. You don't feel heard. You don't feel this energy of love and compassion. And so you are being guided to return the energy of love and compassion through what you're being guided to initiate in your life to get yourself out of those spaces and environments where you feel stuck, where you feel trapped, where you feel small, where you don't feel supported. And through you initiating that change is going to happen in a trickle effect in the other relationships in your life as well. It may be more challenging for them, but that is not your responsibility. It's just your responsibility to get yourself out of the quote unquote negative energy that you're finding yourself in your day to day. And that new beginning of positivity is available to you because you have the Page of Swords and the Page of Cups here assuring you that there is a loving new environment that is available to you now, or it's just around the corner, but it's only going to come through you initiating the change that you need to make to get yourself out of those unsupportive environments, okay? The other individuals will be okay. This change may wake them up and may shake them up to the deeper truths that they're not wanting to admit around seeing you in this energy of pain and this energy of confusion. Or it may wake them up to their own personal truths around feeling the same way. All right, so it's time for you to make this change, initiate this change for yourself and all others involved. All right, love, so we are pulling your last card from the self-awareness card deck, and this card came out, and it says, what if it isn't true? What if it isn't true? So let's see what this is about. The thing you are telling yourself right now, the concrete reasons why you think you don't belong, why you think you can't do it, why you won't get there, why you're not enough, or that it's not for you. What if that wasn't true? What if it's not true? What if all the reasons you're telling yourself why you can't cut ties with what you're wanting to cut ties with, what you're feeling called to cut ties with, or what you're feeling called to initiate in your life, what if those excuses, what if those reasons are not true? They're just blocks holding you back, preventing you from seeking the mental and emotional freedom that is available to you now. All right, love, so your soul action today, it's time for a soul chat. Close your eyes, put your hands on your heart, and ask the wise one within you, what if it isn't true? What else might be possible? Journal your answer. What lie do I need to let go of to reach my soul's truth? All right, love, so I highly, highly encourage you to practice this soul action today. Revelations will abound if you let yourself practice this little meditation here. Close your eyes, put your hands on your heart, and ask this to yourself and wait for the answer to come. It's within you already. And then after that meditation, journal out your answer to this question here as well. All right, my loves, practice this and the answers will come. All right, my loves, that is it for your reading today, my fellow earth signs. My air signs, I'm so sorry. Air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. I thank you so much for tuning in, my loves, and allowing me to bring forth these messages of guidance for you at this time. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up and comment down below letting me know that you're an air sign. And let me know what is it that you are breaking ties with. And if you would like a bit deeper support as you work through this disconnect and make your way into these initiations that you are changing into. I do offer one-to-one personal support, personal readings. You just have to send me a DM on Instagram at selfunity, and we can set up a personal reading for you. All right, my loves, I thank you so much once again. I'm wishing you a beautiful, blessed day. Until next time, bye, love. Hello, water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Welcome into your reading today, love. So for your reading today, we are using the Tarot of the Divine, and we are tapping in to see what messages of guidance do you need to know, what do you need to hear and receive in this moment now. So while I'm shuffling and drawing out your cards, my love, if you have any questions or intentions that you would like to set to receive guidance or insight upon for this reading, go ahead and take a moment now to ask those questions and set those intentions. And trust that you will receive the guidance and answers exactly when you are meant to. All right, love, so we are pulling 2 oracle cards as well from the Beyond Lemuria oracle deck. And this is a deck that I don't usually use in my readings, but it really wanted to come out today. It was just calling out to me. So we're going to see what it wants to share. All right, love, so let's see what your cards are. So we have the 9 of Cups. All right, we have the 9 of Cups. We also have the 10 of Coins. All right. And the 4 of Wands. All right, we have some very positive, uplifting tarot cards for the water signs today. All right, my love. So this energy feels as though there is definitely a reclamation happening here, a reclamation of your emotional fulfillment. All right, you are finally making choices for yourself that just light you up, that feel fun, that feel true to who you are. And through you making these choices based on feelings of joy, based on feelings of pleasure and fun, you are receiving the payoff. You are receiving the sense of physical support. So it's creating a ripple effect in your life, a trickle effect here, where there are decisions that you're making in your life based on this energy of joy, and it is birthing beautiful physical creations into your life. Okay, that is like your message, water signs. Like, wow, water signs, what are you doing? You're doing it right. Keep doing what you're doing. Okay, so with the 9 of Cups here too, this energy is about choice. It's about celebration. And paired with the 4 of Wands and the 10 of Coins, I definitely feel that this is just confirmation for you that the choices you have made in your life are setting you up to want to embody this energy of celebration every single day. Really beautiful, positive energy here. Let me see if we can go a little deeper. Spirit's leaving it very surface level for my water signs today. It's very likely that you are actually going to be celebrating something in the physical. So somebody could be getting engaged, somebody could be attending a wedding or hosting their own wedding. There could be a celebration of birth or a birthday celebration, maybe like a milestone birthday coming up for somebody specific. A vacation, maybe you're needing to take a vacation. This is just really positive. Let's see if we can go a little deeper here. So sometimes the 9 of Cups can represent this energy of choice, which is what we've been talking about. Your choices have been creating the physical manifestation of what it is that you are hoping to receive out of life. But it's not about, you're recognizing that it's not really about the physical manifestation. It's more about what has been initiated, what you've planted on the outside from within you. So you're really getting clear on what it is that you want, but deeper than that, it's more about how you want to feel. Okay, so you may have been practicing manifestation techniques, or this may be something that you're familiarizing yourself with, or this may just be a guide for you to brush up on your manifestation wisdom and practices. All right, if you're feeling as though there's like a bit of a delay in something coming in for you, brush up on your manifestation skills, knowledge, and practices, or practice one of your manifestation practices that you know works for you, and then just let it go. Let go of whatever it is that you're trying to call in, and just trust that it's going to come in exactly when it's meant to, and it will come in on time. Okay. All right, I'm seeing here too that you are going to be celebrating the growth of something. So there's something that you may have been trying to curate or plan or finesse for quite a long time. I'm seeing like years, a couple years. For some of you, it could be a couple months, but specifically, I'm seeing there's something that you have been putting your time, energy, and effort into building, into growing, into creating for years and years and years. And it wasn't always a very positive experience for you. There were a lot of downfalls, there were a lot of upheavals, there were a lot of times where you may have wanted to like throw in the towel, give it all up, but you prospered through. You continue to work on this. You continue to practice overcoming those obstacles, overcoming those setbacks. And in 1 to 2 months time, maybe even sooner than that, 1 to 2 weeks time, you are going to see an extenuous amount of growth. Is that the right word? Extenuous, like a lot of growth in a very short period of time. And so I'm seeing the example of like somebody going viral. And you know, when we see somebody go viral, we just see it on the surface level. Like, wow, they went viral overnight. But we all know it does not take an overnight, one time, one off. Like, you can't just post something on the first day and boom, you go viral. Sure, it happens for some people, but most of the times you're not going to get that viral hit until you've posted a plethora of times, 50 to 100, 200, 300 times, until you've been posting for 4, 5, 6, 10 years. Okay, so even though you're going to have this extenuous growth being witnessed on an external level for others to see, for the community to see, you are going to know deep within that this has been an experience of growth. It's not something that's just happening overnight. It's something that is happening because of the time, the energy, the efforts that you have put into it in your day-to-day, in the previous months, in the previous years that you've been working at it, that you've been chipping away at it. And now you're getting to celebrate, now you're getting to reap the benefits of all that hard work. It is finally paying off. It is coming in tenfold, 20-fold, 30-fold for you. And you're just going to be so excited. You're going to be in this energy of celebration and knowing that this is it, that it was worth it. Okay. And so the example that I gave with that energy of the viral post, that's just an example. This may be about you growing a business of your own. This could be about a relationship. This could be about, finally getting your dream home. You put away money, you put away savings bit by bit, and now you're able to buy it. And to some people it looks like you bought it in one day, you bought it in a month, but no, you were saving for this for years. Same thing with a relationship. Maybe you're finally tying the knot with somebody and they're like, wow, you did that in just a couple months, but no, you've been in a relationship with them for years, working away at it, finessing it, learning from each other, finally coming to the decision that this is who you want to spend the rest of your life with. Okay, so even though on the surface level and on the external it may look like something that happens very quickly to others, but deep down within you know that this is something that you worked hard for, you worked hard to receive, and it is something that deserves a moment of celebration, maybe even a week to a month to a couple months time of you celebrating what it is that you have achieved. All right, loves, let's go ahead and see what your next cards are. Wow, we have 53, transformation. Transformation. I think this came through in the fire signs reading. All right, and we also have 56 with vulnerability. Vulnerability. So we have some dragonfly medicine here, and the dragon here looks a little bit like an eel. Also, we have the dog, so some symbolism coming through for you dogs. Maybe somebody's getting a new dog to celebrate. Maybe somebody's dog is having puppies. All right, or maybe you're visiting like the puppy, the shelter, and they have a lot of puppies. All right, and then we also have the dragonfly medicine, like I talked about, the lotuses. It looks like there's lotuses here as well. All right, but let's see what this is about. Transformation and vulnerability. You've been very vulnerable with others in a public light, and maybe not on a grand level, like what the example I shared about social media, maybe just with your direct community, with your family members, with your close-knit friendship groups, or with your coworkers in your professional life. You're somebody who has allowed yourself to be very open and vulnerable with others. And through that vulnerability, transformation and change is being initiated into your life in a very magical way. I see here that, it's taken you so long to get to this point of finally being able to make decisions based on what brings you joy, what initiates a sense of joy and fun and pleasure in your life. And it's not a space that you came to with a sense of ease. It's something that you came to because you've gone through some hard things in life. And so now I'm seeing here you are at a space in your life where you're able to open up about those deeper things that you have gone through from a lens of understanding. And so for some of you, the message is shifting here a bit, where I'm seeing for some of you, you've gone through some very challenging things in your life. And even though you're in a much better place now than you were when you went through those challenging experiences, you're able to show up and talk to others and share with others about your previous experience that you went through in those challenging moments of life. And when you do that, people may look at you and they may question, like, wow, how are you able to talk about these terrible experiences with a smile on your face? And it's just because you've gone through the deeper healing work of bringing peace and understanding to those past situations that you have gone through. Okay, and this is also going to help to provide this energy of transformation of mind, of the mindset that people hold around these more challenging life experiences that individuals go through. So you're bringing a sense of support to other individuals who have gone through something similar to what you once went through, and you're assuring them that they're not alone in those journeys of what they've gone through, but you're also showing them that it doesn't have to be all pain. It doesn't have to be all sadness. It doesn't have to be all anger. You can bring a sense of transformation and understanding that those situations are just a means of learning, just a means of growth. And you're showing them what is possible when they pursue the path with that type of mindset. And you're showing yourself that as well. You're showing yourself that if you allow yourself to be vulnerable, to be honest, to be truthful about where you've been versus where you're at now versus where you want to continue moving towards, that transformation of what you seek to receive in the physical form and the manifestation form can take place. But it's through you being honest, through you being vulnerable about where you've been, where you're at now, and where you want to continue moving towards. And it's all rooted in that energy of emotion that we were talking about, following your joy, following your bliss, seeking understanding of those more challenging experiences through the lens of peace, through the lens of understanding that it's just a matter of a growth. All right, love. So let's go ahead and see what your last card is now. So I am pulling one last card from the Self-Awareness deck. And these cards have questions on it, which I highly encourage you to at least reflect upon your answers to. But I always encourage you to write out your answers to the questions. All right, so yours flipped over, and it is, what is your body telling you right now? What is your body telling you right now? Water signs, you are the most intuitive, most connected to your body. If you feel as though the messages in this reading do not quite resonate with you right now, it's because you're too much in your head and you need to get back into your body, because that is where the answers can be found. That is where the answers of joy, of bliss, of transformation, of vulnerability and honesty can be found, and can help bring forth the physical desires that you're trying to call into your life will be initiated into your life, will be transformed into your life. So what is your body telling you right now? All right, let's see what's on the other side. So this is, our body speaks to us through physical pain or discomfort. Our body sends messages for us to look more deeply, see the trapped emotions, the lurking fears and beliefs that limit you. Listen to your physical body and you will be led to the source of your pain. It is time to get your healing on. Your soul action today is get the book Heal Your Body by Louis L. Hay and find the answers toward which your body is guiding you. All right, my love. So I feel that this card, this description here, it may not resonate with everyone because you have moved beyond this. And so what this is about, it's more about that energy of the message that I was sharing here with the vulnerability and transformation, where you're going to actually be stepping up into a bit of a leadership role to show others how they can reclaim this truth over their individual pains, because you've gone through this journey. And as a water sign, it's very likely that you've gone through this journey many, many times, because water signs feel things so deeply. They are constantly sitting with their shadows, sitting with their pain, and trying to bring a deeper means of transformation to it. Vulnerability can be where a water sign struggles from time to time, but this is the energy that you're shifting into, is to being more open about what it is that you've gone through and the deeper lessons, knowledge, and wisdom that you've curated, that you've tapped into in being able to transform your life into one that is more fulfilling, more emotional fulfilling, which will then, of course, create that ripple effect of being physically fulfilling as well, where you can actually latch onto those physical manifestations that you've been trying to call in. All right, now for some of you, you may still be working through this energy. And so if you are, you may want to check out this book, Heal Your Body by Louis L. Hay. I personally have not read it, but the recommendation is there, it's coming in. But more so than that, sit with your body, tap in, meditation, tune into what your body is speaking to you, what it's asking of you. Return to those manifestation practices that we talked about in the beginning, the ones that you've tried in the past that you know work, or seek out some new ones. Also, something coming through, Spirit didn't want me to forget this. This was coming through in the beginning, but I did forget to mention it, is you may want to study your human design, because I don't know too much about human design, but I do know that in everyone's human design chart, we have two different types of manifestors. There's a non-specific manifestor and there's a specific manifestor. And so the way in which you may be trying to manifest things into your life, it may not be in alignment with your specific label of being a non-specific or a specific manifestor. So check out your human design chart and see which type of manifestor you are, and then read up on it. And so, okay, so I'll explain to you. So the non-specific manifestor is somebody who doesn't have to think about all the itty bitty details of what it is that they want to manifest. They just think about what they want to manifest, and then they have to curate, tap deep within and create the emotion of what that manifestation would help them feel. And it's through that emotion that you will draw in what it is that you're wanting to manifest and attract into your life. Now, the specific manifestor, of course, is on the other side of that. This is where you have to get very detailed, very specific about what it is that you want. Write out all the little details and put in your mind what it is that you want. And then through you envisioning what it is that you want, detail by detail, you'll attract and call into your life what it is that you're trying to manifest. Okay, so little human design lesson there, probably the only one that I know, because like I said, I'm not super familiar with human design, but I do know about that. So that may be something you want to look into. Check out your human design chart, and it may help you with this energy of what it is that you're trying to align with and call into your life, and bring a means of transformation to also help you access the ability to be more vulnerable with others that you are working with or connecting with in your day-to-day. All right, my water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. That is it for your reading today. I thank you so much for tuning in and for allowing me to bring forth these messages of guidance for you. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up and comment down below letting me know that you're a water sign. All right, my loves, I thank you so much once again. If you would like to go a little bit deeper, maybe you need a little bit more support on anything that came up in this reading or something else that's going on in your life, I do offer personal readings. You just have to send me a DM on Instagram at selfunity and we can set up a personal reading for you. All right, my water signs, I thank you so much once again. I'm wishing you a beautiful, blessed day. Until next time, bye, love.